welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I want to put my face in that grass.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with a person.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
You just cracked into episode 143 of Off the Cut podcast. Oh, you cracking one too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it a seltzer water?
No, this is a hard alcoholic beverage that I'm drinking right now.
Oh wow. Derek's got a
hard week
all going on.
It's Tuesday and it's already a hard week. So.
Hey, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, this is for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Christmas is we're getting closer. And the perfect place to shop for all of your Christmas gifts, even if somebody isn't a woodworker.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Someone's beeping outside.
Oh, I think that might be me.
Oh, I was
I don't know. Either it's happening on my end and I'm hearing it in real life, or I'm hearing it through the headphones and it's one of you guys. But I think it's me.
I'm gonna take.
Somebody forgot to change the batteries in their smoke detector.
I think it's like a car. Somebody locking their car door outside my office window.
Okay. Well, that's a great segue to tell you that KM Tools is still a sponsor of Off the Cut podcast. That's because everything that Jonathan has in his store, high quality. It's made for woodworkers by woodworkers.
That is right. And a portion of every single sale goes to the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, which puts tools in the hands of people who need them.
Yes. And this month, one of their big pushes this month is they're trying to reach a goal of, was it $50,000?
I believe it is. I believe it's 50,000.
They're trying to raise $50,000 in the month of December for the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund. So if you want to donate, help get that goal going, help Jonathan and his team pursue that goal so that they can give away even more stuff to people who need it. Yes. Make sure you go over to the website and make a donation. And there's a link in the show notes too. I got to write that down.
There sure is. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's they're just trying to raise money to give people tools. So you gotta feel good about that. I was talking to Chris Giffro, who's their lawyer and also a talented maker who we've had on the podcast before. And he was saying, "Yes, sorry, yeah, I should get that straight." No, titles are important. And he was saying that even if you're a Canadian, you can still write it off on your taxes if you donate.
Ooh.
Which is exciting information for me.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's writing stuff off.
That's right. All the big businesses are doing it.
Yeah. But if you want to write off $50 off your purchase total.
Oh, that was a nice segue.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
Every single month, Jonathan and his team gives away a $50 gift card to KM Tools. All you got to do to enter to win that is sign up over on patreon.com/offthecutpodcast. Any tier automatically entered to win. And you also unlock tons of other perks like the after show and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest one, BYOC, bring your own camera. So,
is that what the C stands for?
I mean, I don't know what it would. Caulk?
Yeah, caulk. Yeah. Bring your own power caulking gun.
Yeah. Every single month, we get together with our patrons, do a BYOC live hangout. So we can just talk about whatever, talk about 3D printing, talk about favorite order at Wendy's, talk about questions, whatever you want. Live, get a hangout, chat with us. We always have a blast. Always lots of laughs. And we want to see you over there. But let's see. No new patrons this week. But we do have a favor to ask of everyone who listens to the show.
Oh.
Now, hear us out. If you could go down in the podcast description show notes of this episode and click a link that says survey, we're looking to get feedback from everybody who listens to the show. And we want to know what you want to get from us as far as like becoming a patron member. So what sort of perks could we offer to entice you and make you support the show. Because let's be honest, what are we 143 episodes in? We've got an incredible Patreon community support, but
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped on the Patreon dogs. Pretty sick.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Diamond dog.
Okay, diamond dogs, mount up. Let's go.
I didn't know we had that sound bite.
I just added today.
Nice. Sick.
And we have a blast doing this, but it is, I mean, there's a lot of costs that go into doing a podcast that people don't realize.
Yeah, I was saying
they just bumped up the price of our recording software.
Yeah, all of a sudden our recording software went from $50 a month to $88 a month. And I don't even think they sent me an email, or maybe they did,
Right.
and I just missed it. But it's so annoying.
But, we've got a lot of costs, and we love doing this, and by no means are you required. Don't sign up on Patreon if you don't want to.
But what could we do to entice you over? And if Eric has to strip down to Speedo and mow your lawn to make that happen, he's willing to do that.
Yeah. So we just ask for your feedback. Whether it's the perks that we're offering, whether it's price tiers, whatnot. We just want to hear from you. And truly, we want to get you guys over to listen to the after show because we have a blast talking in the after show. It's basically double your podcasting pleasure.
That's right.
After show's a good time. If you like the main show, you're really going to like the after show.
Yeah. And you can always go way back in history and watch the one where Zach got really drunk.
That's true. Hey, maybe this holiday season you can get blackout on the after show. Then for the next couple of years, I can be plugging the one where Eric got wasted.
It might be. Deric, don't clip this into something. It's going to be on social media, but man, I'm telling you, this year it's going to be interesting for some holiday gatherings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What's that?
Oh man, it's. I feel like I can't go into too many details, but there is, when your families start to get bigger, it's like, okay, well now that, I'm with Miranda, now I'm with some of her family, and then her family then is with other families because they're dating somebody, they're engaged. And so the family umbrella, it grows, right?
Yes.
Naturally with that, with the family growth, there's always a group of people, and I'm being very vague with this. There's always a group of people who just tend not to get along as the family umbrella grows, right?
Oh, interesting. You got family beef going on.
Yeah, and it's over it's the dumbest stuff.
Always stupid
I
stuff.
mean, isn't it always?
It's not like, oh, this person, has this political view or whatever. It's just like, this person buys Heinz ketchup instead of, the store brand. And it creates a legitimate, feud at these holiday things. And you're like, what are we doing here?
I do often find, you hear about these, family dramas that happen. So-and-so hates so-and-so. And you're right. It is always about the dumbest stuff ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's but it kind of I almost judge the people who have the problem. The person's like, this person doesn't like Heinz ketchup. I'm like, yeah, who cares? What?
How does
it makes
it
me
affect
judge
you?
that person?
Right. if you hate it that bad, bring your own damn ketchup to Christmas or whatever, right?
Yeah, or get some real problems. Get something else going on in your life other than ketchup.
Although
I think some people.
Go ahead, Deric. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think some people, whenever they first meet, they make a decision on whether or not they like somebody, and they're going to stick to that no matter what, and they just find any excuse.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
It's like the first time you listen to the Green Suitors podcast, you're like, this sucks. This is trash. Yeah. It's available on all streaming platforms. So, but no, you're 100% right. There are those people that you meet within a first minute, and you can tell they're looking at you and they're just like, nah, this is a no.
Yeah.
Zach, you meet Sophie's parents for the first time and they're just like, nah.
I mean, it's we've been together 12 years now. Still trying to crack that nut. Still trying to work my way into that family's good graces.
Oh, interesting.
No, I'm kidding.
No. But hear me out. My family has this. It's a playful discussion. Does Sophie have brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys ever have a playful argument with her parents about which one of like the spouse's significant others is their favorite?
Oh, dude, it's me.
Oh, real? Okay.
It's me.
So you're at the top of the list.
Yeah, because I go over there and I like fix their house.
Ah.
The other in-laws are freeloaders.
Okay.
I mean, some of them spawn grandchildren, so I guess that's like got to count for something. But like, I'm over there doing the hard work.
You're manipulating the parents.
Well, I'm playing to my strengths.
Or would you say you're playing the parents?
Perhaps some might say that.
Huh. Deric, do you have this? You guys ever have this conversation? Like, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got brothers and sisters. But it's for my in-laws. I'm the favorite for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe everybody just thinks they're the favorite.
Yeah.
But
And then my grandma has told my wife that she's her favorite.
nice.
Of all of us.
Sick.
Oh, my grandma definitely likes Miranda the best out of all the other people.
I think
Is
it's a good
your-
sign.
You talked about your sister before on the podcast. Is she married?
So I have two
partnered
older
up?
sisters. So like
Cuffed up?
the middle sister, they've been dating for 3 or 4 years or something like that.
Okay. All right. So that's a pretty serious relationship.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude
Yeah.
for sure. Not going to throw anyone under the bus. I mean, Zach, it was 11 years before you proposed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, look,
so
everybody goes at their own pace.
Right, yeah. Hey. I mean,
Those other guys, man, they got to be really phoning it in for you to be holding off a proposal for 11 years and still be the top in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's anything that counts against me, that's probably it. But I'm over there putting in work.
Yeah. Let's see.
I will do that.
Do you have have you developed an excuse for that? Like, so what took you so long? Do you have like a family excuse that goes along with it? Like something silly? Like,
Oh, when
busy
people
building house?
when people used to ask, I just start barking and foaming at the mouth. I'd be like,
I have rape.
and that shut the conversation down real quick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But so I have a middle sister. She's been with her boyfriend for like 3 or 4 years. Then my oldest sister is engaged, but they've been engaged for a while. But everybody has a different time frame. They're waiting on some. They're like trying to sell their house and get their house all settled and situated. It's taken longer than they've expected. It's like, live your life, man. I don't care. As long as you're happy, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my deal. But
It takes all kinds.
yeah. Hey, I got a question that we didn't talk about too much. Tell me about your new doggo. We didn't talk about this last
That's
week.
why I'm making all the dog noises because I've been hanging out with a dog 24/7.
So
Dude,
what inspired
puppies.
the dog scenario? Is your cat doing okay?
Yeah, cat's fine. It's like, cat was looking a little sick, so we decided to get a dog.
Well, I mean, that's
Finish
what
her off.
inspires a lot of people.
Really? Yeah,
Wonder they
okay, I
get a
guess.
sick cat.
No, we've
practice
been
baby,
thinking about
maybe?
we've been thinking about getting a dog for a long time. So we were like, should we just stop waiting and just like actually do it?
Oh.
And then so we went and got her little Rosie Poo.
No, ooh, Rosie.
Yeah.
That's a classy name. Classy
Yeah.
name.
Mhm.
What kind of dog is Rosie?
She's a Rottweiler.
Oh, a riveter. Nice.
Yeah, River. Yeah. So she's gonna grow up to be a big dog. So she's a puppy now. She's probably like between 15 and 20 pounds, probably closer to 20. But she's gonna be maybe close to 100 by the time she's full grown. So this dog, man, she will go to sleep with a full stomach. Like she'll look a little fat when she goes to sleep, and then she'll wake up and all her limbs will be like an inch longer.
Wow.
And you're like, oh damn, okay, all right. I made the mistake of looking at like Rottweiler 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And it's like every month, it's like a completely different dog.
Have you thought about doing like a picture a day kind of thing?
I mean, I could. I'm many days behind on that now, but I probably should do something like that. That's a good idea. I should do a picture a day.
Use AI to
Yeah, true.
just be like, here are all of my pictures of the day for months 4 to 10. Can you give me the first 3 months?
Yeah.
Some
I'll tell you though,
security camera shots.
Give you a dog with 9 legs.
a puppy is a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, because you got to take her outside like every 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'm down there. I'm trying to work, and then I have like timer sets. Like, okay, I fed her 45 minutes ago. I got to take her out back. She's going to need to go to the bathroom. And then like you put her in the cage, and she'll whimper and whine for a little bit, and try not to have a dog that has separation anxiety. So you're like, oh, I'll let them cry it out for a little bit, but you don't want to let them cry for too long, so then they get messed up and they hate the cage and all that stuff.
I bet this is unveiling disparities in parenting styles between you and Sophie, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I'm much more like the dog is whimpering. I'm like, maybe she needs to pee. Maybe she needs to go outside. And Sophie's just like, let her whimper. She's fine. Let her whimper.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, I'm more of the suck when it comes to the animals.
Zach's the softy over here.
Yeah. Although there were, but there had been times where I've been the hard ass too, because like we used to have her sleep out of her crate, and now I didn't like that. So now every night she goes in the crate to sleep. Somebody was like, give her let her get adjusted to the new house, give her a few days, and then we'll crate train her. I was like, nah, she's got to go in now. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
But no issues with the doggo. Doggo's doing fine.
Doggo's doing good so far. She eats nothing but, well, now I've kind of introduced some other things, but the majority of her diet is just ground up organ meat. So she's going to be like a hardcore meatitarian. So not even cooked, just ground up raw organ meat.
Now, can you just go to the butcher and be like, hey, just give me your scraps? Or like, what do you do?
So when we got her from the breeder, we got like a 2 or 3 month supply of this stuff that the breeder was making herself, just like frozen in like containers. So it's going to be a bit of a question once we're through that. What do we do? I'm kind of, now she's like, it's 2/3 raw meat and then 1/3 kibble. So we'll see.
Did you ask where she procured these organs?
No, I assume probably from like drifters and vagrants around the neighborhood.
Full-time murderer, part-time dog breeder.
Yeah, exactly.
God. Well, no, I'm glad to hear it. Is she going to become a staple in content? Like, is she going to pop up?
We'll see. I did an Instagram story with her today. It was like a sponsored set of Instagram stories. I included her in it.
With the Marks clothing stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Because she was eating our shoes. So I made this like custom shoe rack to go in her closet. And then I had her at the end. I was like, I made this because this little one keeps eating all our shoes.
All right. Spill the beans. How much time and quality did you put into that shoe rack?
So little.
Okay, I didn't see the shoe rack. I saw the ad and whatever.
It was a sponsored story set, so I was like, I'm not going to kill myself.
Yeah, you're not going to spend a week building a shoe rack, and like it was good enough for camera.
It was good enough for camera. It was also one of those things where it's like it's in a closet.
Like who cares, right?
So I made it out of MDF and wood dowels that I had at the shop. I was like, I put the MDF in the CNC. I carved little holes for the dowels. A little drop of glue, jam the dowel in there. Bingo bango.
Huh, that'll work.
Yeah. That'll work.
Did you paint it?
Yeah, I painted it.
Okay.
I sanded it. I painted it, but it's if you look real close at the paint job, it's probably not the best.
So imagine if you would have had that whole film production come out, how long that project would have taken.
I know, right? Oh, dude, it's so funny because like this thing, like shot it, edited it, and like scripted it, did all the design work, all the stuff in less time than it took to do that like fancy full thing. But I got an email from them and they want to renew me for another contract next year. So
hell yeah.
I guess they were happy with the output.
I'm glad to hear that, man. Like, congratulations. Yeah. Always good to start off start the end of the year with some, stuff you got in the bag for 2025, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm actually going in stronger this year than last year. Like I've got some pretty decent stuff lined up for next year, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm dry over here.
Dude, I'm dry. Well, I have a YouTube video that's done now, and I was like shopping around. I'm trying to get some sponsors for this thing, but there's nothing out there.
I know. It's weird.
So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do sponsorless videos, see if I can keep up the kind of the good ad revenue from YouTube.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I'm finding most of the stuff for next year is actually, well, not most, but a lot of it is, most is Instagram stuff, not YouTube stuff.
That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I just thought, like, I don't know, my YouTube's been going pretty well lately. I thought there'd be a lot more offers on the table, but
same.
YouTube honestly seems very quiet as a platform right now.
Yeah. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they say, I mean, honestly, get into content creation, you got to be ready for some dry spells. It's going to happen.
Oh man. So I got this meeting. I haven't, and this talking day job stuff, been pretty slow the past like 2 weeks.
In the day job.
Yeah, in the day job.
Yeah, okay.
So it's been fantastic because I've been, getting tons and tons of work done.
I saw some of the updates in your garage. It's looking good.
Slowly, yeah. I sent you guys that picture earlier. But I was like, I came upstairs to eat lunch, and I see this this meeting invite. It's like 1:20, and I get a meeting invite for 1:30, and it says quick call from my boss, and I'm like, oh baby. I was like, this is the call. And so I get on, I go, just let's not drag this on. Am I fired? Am I getting laid off? And he's like, what? And I was like, I mean, I feel like this is like, I was like, boss, this is the equivalent of you texting, we need to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You send me a meeting invite for like 5 or 10 minutes from now. It says quick call. But no, I'm not getting laid off. But unfortunately, a bunch of other people are. And he was just like,
no. That's too bad.
That sucks. And the way
do you have to be the Grim Reaper? Do you have to let some people go?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm not responsible for anyone other than myself. But
okay.
Dude, what sucked the way they did it is they literally on, what was it? I think it was yesterday. It was on Monday? I don't remember when it was. But literally just the day of, they just called these people and were like, hey, you're done.
Ooh.
Didn't give them like 2 weeks of like, hey, come this Friday, you're done. Like, we need to transfer. Like, right before Christmas too, man. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's such a low blow.
Right. And if you got like annual bonuses that come around at the end of the year,
that's why. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
I'm sure that's why. Right?
Oh, that sucks. I mean, in some ways, I would rather, because, like, let's be real. Somebody lays you, they say, hey, you're going to be fired in 2 weeks. That last 2 weeks sucks.
And you're not doing anything.
You're not doing jack all. So, I mean, on some level, I kind of respect that, like, hey, you're done. Like, let's not pretend that you're going to work the next 2 weeks. Like, just call, like, we'll still pay you for because I think legally they're obligated to pay for the 2 weeks, aren't they?
Yeah. Unless they're being fired for cause.
Right.
So
I would rather just collect 2 weeks and not have to pretend to work for 2 weeks. But going into the holiday season, like that's
brutal,
rough.
Man.
Yeah.
That's brutal. But like, that's we don't need to go down that road. But like have some integrity, have some class. Like, okay, I get you need to make your numbers look better, but like these are people, man.
I know, yeah, dude. I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna whiplash really hard on this like corporate culture of like maximize profits.
Yeah,
I think people, like, everybody's just so sick of it.
But that's great. That's fantastic. I mean, within the last like 4 or 5 years, I think you've gotten away from the every single person works a 9-to-5 job, and like, there's so much more flexibility and like working from home, or like, oh, you worked a little bit on Saturday morning, like come in late Monday, whatever. Like, yeah, which is great. But no, so I get this, I get that, that meeting comes up. I have a conversation with my boss and whatnot, and then I was talking to Miranda about it. And she was like, so what would have happened? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes,
If you were fired?
what if you would have been fired? I mean, I would have been like, well, I mean, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. So like, maybe you just kind of continue to think about that. Like, like, so if it does come up, you're just like, whatever, like almost kind of like live in the attitude of, this could go away any day and like just work and prepare as if it's not there. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting idea.
Some subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like to some extent, you do like you are preparing for the eventuality. Like I feel like the entire time we've been doing this podcast, you've just been like, I'll just work the day job until I can't, because it's like I feel like, and no disrespect, it's not that heavy of a lift. It seems like
no.
So it's kind of almost like
made a bunch of efficiencies to make like the work I have go fast or faster, quicker, easier for me, and then I just don't really share that with people because
because why would you?
Why?
They don't pay you that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like in like the corporate world, if like they're like, hey, we need you to do this, 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 and this. If you do it and then you go, okay, well, what else do you need me to do? They're always going to find more things for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So everything that's asked of me, I do it.
Yeah.
And then
not anything more. And then I shut up, right?
Yeah.
And it's allowed me to grow this business to where it is now. And like, I don't feel, I don't feel bad about it. Maybe I should. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Oh, I mean, look at what this company has like how they've treated their employees on the flip side, right?
Sure.
They let people go just before Christmas. So why shouldn't you? Because they're not going to show you the same respect on the other side. And this is kind of the point I was trying to make a little bit earlier too. It's like, if you didn't lay off employees right before Christmas, maybe you would have employees who felt a little less bad about slacking off and automating their job and all these things. Right?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I don't know.
Respect is a two-way street, and I feel like when companies get so big, they kind of forget that. So
it was kind of an icky feeling when I like heard what happened. I was like, really? Like, But so, what's the last time that you worked for your dad? How long has it been? Like, do you still pop in there day to day, or?
Yeah, not that long ago. Earlier, probably like 2 weeks ago, I helped him install some hardwood flooring. Okay. So,
but it's not a regular thing. It's not like, oh, every Monday I go help him.
No. It was like he was like, hey, he called me up. He was like, hey, can you give me 2 or 3 days? I need to install 2,000 square feet of hardwood floor. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come in and do it. It was a nice. Honestly, it's like. I was strapped behind the desk for the 5 days, 6 days before that, just editing. I was like, oh yeah, let me install some hardwood floors. This is great.
That's nice to almost have that like a fallback plan. So like, let's say just for whatever reason, every single part of your business just went to zero revenue.
Yeah.
You could be like, hey, put me to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I still have that skill set to fall back on. I think if everything went to shit in YouTube, I'd probably just think like, okay, what's another business I can start now?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I wouldn't even think like, oh man, I should probably
back to the office.
Back to the office. No, I would instantly go with, okay, what's my next business idea?
Yeah, totally. Or some opportunity.
So like, I would get into some sort of product.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, product. Interesting.
But
I might do something weird. I might like spend like a year like learning about cybersecurity and then be like a cybersecurity consultant or something like that.
What about a wearable magazine?
A wearable magazine?
Come on, you haven't got those messages on Instagram. They're like, we want you to be part of the world's first wearable magazine.
I'm still a jewelry tier.
Wearable magazine?
Yeah, look it up. Wearable magazine.
tpost.com?
Yeah.
What?
You've really never heard of this?
No.
Okay. Dude, this is the exact equivalent of hey, we want to send you this contour gauge.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Okay.
everyone and their mother gets this. And I genuinely have no idea how it works, or like I don't even understand it. Like it's
I guess. I mean, is it just a straight up like affiliate play? Like, sell. What? I'm still struggling to understand what the hell this is. So for everybody who's listening, sorry, we should explain this a little bit better. It's graphic tees, and I guess they kind of have like a weird editorial theme, but not really. Go to t-post.com and you can see some examples of it. Like some of them are like news articles printed on t-shirts, but a lot of them are just like graphics. I don't know. I don't get it.
yeah.
It seems like you subscribe to them and then you get them, I guess, on a regular basis. Yeah, it's like a subscription model.
It does
that's
say
how they earn money.
Okay,
and
so
it's a European company too.
Oh yeah, they're Swedish. They're eco and ethically produced, sewn in India. That's funny. 32 euro a shirt, no period of notice. So I guess they send you a shirt a month.
Yeah, so it's like a shirt subscription thing, but they try to say it's a wearable magazine. I have no idea, but
I can be honest with you.
Go ahead.
I have no interest in whatever the hell this is. I don't want anything to do with this.
See,
no.
I think their problem is they're billing it as a wearable magazine, but they're in whatever European country they're in, and
Sweden.
For them, Sweden, yeah. So there's like a little bit of a language issue. They're saying magazine, and I think they just mean subscription model, and we hear magazine and we think like old, paper magazine.
Right.
It's funny. They have a subscriber count on their website. Would you like to guess how many subscribers they currently have for their wearable magazine?
2,000.
Pretty good guess. 2,728.
That's
in 89 countries.
89 countries.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, if that's accurate, 2,700 times $30 a month. So they're making, is that 90K a month?
I don't know.
Or did I miss a zero? Are they making 900?
Times $30? That's 81,000.
90,000. Okay, they're making $90,000 a month. So not that far off $1 million a year business. I mean, I guess it's not crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably an inflated number if I had to guess, but
So yeah, don't sign up for T-Post, whatever you do for that.
But it just goes to show you how easy it is to make $1 million business.
Yeah. It drives me nuts. Speaking of businesses, sorry, I got like sinus thing going on. I'm very nasal today.
'Tis the season.
I know.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
I got the sore throat spray going on here.
Oh, what is that? Do you like shoot that in the back of your throat?
Oh, you've never seen this stuff before?
No.
Oh, it's the bomb. Okay. It's oral anesthetic analgesic.
Wait, does it go in your mouth or your behind?
Which end are you putting it in?
It's got phenol, 1.5%. And so you just, maybe I can get some ASMR. Ready?
Yeah. Okay.
That come through?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Yeah. So it's just like cherry stuff you squirt in the back of your throat, and it goes numb.
Oh, interesting. So it doesn't help you get better quicker. It like covers up the symptoms of a sore throat, I guess.
Yeah. It just kind of like makes it numb. Oh my God.
Oh.
I have to tell you guys a story.
Okay.
Oh, well, okay. I won't tell you the segue of how I got it, but I just remembered a story I had to tell you.
Okay.
So the other day, I wake up to this email, and I'm going to preface it with, if there's anyone listening right now that has kids or grandparents or perhaps maybe their wife
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Anybody
pause.
who's sensitive.
Yeah, pause
Yeah.
and continue the show later. Okay. I get this email, and I wake up in the morning, check my email, and the subject line is just raw dog it.
Okay. Coming in hot.
Exactly. And I can't make this up. Look, I'll even show it on camera. Just raw dog it. I get this email.
Yeah. Oh, all caps too. So you
Yeah,
know
okay.
they're serious.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
get this email from a lady. It says, subject line, just raw dog it. You said this in a video. You meant just do it freehand instead of using a straight edge. Just raw dog it means, no, brace yourselves, to be the insertive partner during anal intercourse without using a condom.
I
You-
mean, I
You
don't know.
probably didn't know this. Neither did the YouTube censors. You should be careful with your slang. Or is that what you mean? Like, what?
I mean, I've got news for you, Mr. or Mrs. Email Writer. I don't think it needs to be in the behind.
Right.
I think it just refers to without the use of protection.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So I get this and I'm cracking up, right? I'm sending it to my hockey group chat. I'm sending it to some friends and stuff like that. And I'm dying. And people are like, you have to respond. You have to respond to
You
this.
should probably respond.
So I crafted this email and it says the person's name. I'm incredibly shocked that you misconstrued this phrase. It's a term that my late grandfather and grandmother coined when they would take us to the ballpark as children. We would order hot dogs, and if they were tasty enough to eat without needing condiments, we would eat them plain or raw dog it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a term that my family has used for decades to pay tribute to my grandparents who came to this country almost 100 years ago. How dare you?
I mean, I do often say if I'm eating a hot dog,
You're gonna raw dog
condiments, I'm going to raw dog it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I actually will go
Just
so
like
far
Grandma
as
and
to
Grandpa.
use that for eating other things. Also,
Yeah.
no condiments.
You
Anytime I'm not using
you want chicken nuggets? You're like, nah, I'm just gonna raw dog it.
or anytime I use a phone without a case,
You're raw dog.
raw dogging it.
Yeah. That might be the episode title.
Raw dog it.
With Grandma and Grandpa.
I think so.
Oh.
I think so.
So I crafted that email and I was like, I really want to send it, but it's almost not even worth it.
Yeah. I would send it. I think it's funny.
I still have it in my drafts. I haven't decided if I'm going to send it or not. My thought was in the off chance that she's like, oh, there we go. I told you it was a girl. I already said that.
Yeah.
She like posts it online and whatnot. It's like people would be like, yes, of course. When he said that in the video, it was supposed to be a very quick, like sexual
Double
innuendo.
entendre.
Yeah, it's like a little throwaway joke.
Right. But I was like, I just don't even care to have this person come back and get all pissed off and whatnot. But
That's fair.
I figured it was definitely worth sharing.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I don't know that I would necessarily respond either, because there is literally no upside other than like laughs for some of your friends in real life. But
Right.
they still get the laughs based on your hypothetical response. You don't actually need to send it.
But here's the crazy thing: is it wasn't like a comment in a YouTube video, and it wasn't through the contact form on the website, and it also wasn't to the email that's associated with, like, if you go on like the about section on like YouTube or whatever, because that's the influent one, right?
Was it your mom or something who sent this email?
No, like
Just watching your videos.
You have to
like,
go
what?
out of your way to find my email address to.
Ooh, I got a good story. This reminds me of a story.
But anyway, yeah, I want to hear your story.
The other day, I was like cleaning the house, and I get this call from an unknown number. And normally, I don't pick up unknown numbers, but I'm like, you know
I
what?
got the time.
I got the
Just gonna raw
time. I
dog
was
it.
like,
Hey, just
Yeah.
gonna raw dog it.
I was like cleaning the bathroom or something like that. And I was like, all right, let me answer this call. I was like, hello, Zachary speaking. Standard answer for a number I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy goes, hey, is this Zach Builds? And I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, hey man, I really like your latest YouTube video. I was wondering if I could get the 3D print files for the project you were working on. And then he was like, I found your number in an old Instagram post. And I was like, yeah, really? And I was like, it kind of caught me off guard. So I was like, okay, yeah, man, I'll just send me an email and I'll send you the 3D print files, which is kind of my standard answer to everybody. He's like, oh, cool. He's like, let me tell you about how I plan on using this. I was like, okay, yeah. And anyways, I ended up talking to this guy for like 2 or 3 minutes on the phone. I'm like, look, dude, I got a new puppy downstairs. I gotta go. Nice talking to you, but send me an email and I'll send you 3D print files. And I was like, how did this guy get my number?
Yeah, okay. I know you.
Instagram, apparently.
You did not post your phone number on Instagram.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe like in a really, really far back post when I wasn't thinking. But
even so, who the hell is scrolling back 4 or 5 years in Instagram and be like, I'm gonna.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
number.
why would this guy? Because I actually had quite a few people like, hey, can I have the 3D print files for this project?
Sure.
So if you look through the comments on YouTube, it's all just, yeah, totally, send me an email. Yeah, totally, send me an email. Like I was just spawning that. I had a copy and paste I just sent to everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised his thing was to go to the length of finding.
It
You know what it was? I bet he had been following you for a while. And at one point, years ago, he clocked a post where he caught a glimpse of your phone number in the background or something.
Maybe.
And then just stored that little nugget away. And then whenever he wanted it, he came back to it.
Yeah, he might be listening to this podcast right now.
Yeah.
But it was weird. That was the first time I've ever had I've had people recognize me in real life, but that one was a little bit of an uncomfortable crossover into real life. It's like, oh, maybe I need to step up my cybersecurity a little bit.
You know what it might be is, did you sell stuff on when you had your Squarespace website? Did you ever sell stuff through that?
No, I didn't.
So,
but it maybe tied to a domain or something like that,
potentially the domain, or sometimes if on Shopify, where I have my website through, if you buy stuff, you can drill down into the merchant details and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be real careful when you sign up for all that kind of stuff. What address you put in, what phone number you put in. I have a Google Voice phone number that I put in.
Good tip.
And it never gets used to the point where Google sends me an email every 2-3 months of hey, we're going to suspend this number if it doesn't get any use. So then I just text that number or whatever, and then it keeps going. But yeah, I've gotten a couple phone calls to that Google Voice number of hey, I found your phone number on the internet. No, you didn't find it. You
dug.
hunted for this.
Yeah, hey, I found you. It's like hide and seek.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, that's where I can just just delete it. The people never approach it in a non-creepy way. It's always a very creepy way.
Yeah.
Because the non-creepy people are no, this is creepy. I'm not going to I'm not going to call that person.
Yeah, because a lot of people have a sense of that should just call a stranger. I'd say, maybe I'll use the contact form on his email or on his website.
Sure,
Clearly, he's got an established channel he wants people to use.
Or I've gotten Instagram messages where I'm okay, it's going to be way easier if I just press video record and then I shoot a video response of great question. Let me show you how this thing works and this and that, and I send it to him. Yeah. And then sometimes it's hey, I have another more pointed question. Would you mind setting 5 minutes aside to talk sometimes next week? And I go, sure, no problem. That's a non-creepy way to try to chat with somebody, right? Like have some sort of organic or like non-creepy engagement, and then be like, hey, could I pick your brain for 5 minutes on this? And you're like, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. That's wild.
I mean, so long story short, earlier you asked me why I got the dog.
Security
dog. Yeah.
Gotta get a guard dog. Oh man.
Guard dog in training.
Yeah, exactly.
Deric, you ever have any run-ins with like just weird people in general? Like,
oh yeah, we were talking about family earlier, right? This kind of segues nicely. Yeah, like
that's how I met my wife.
Yeah, there's been some like people that just kind of whenever you first meet, and I don't mean like I mean like first meet, like you've never spoken to them before,
sure,
or anything like that, and they give you way too much information, or they get too physically like close
talker,
just in your personal space, that kind of stuff. I'm like, back up a little bit. We don't know each other that well.
They're a close talker, and then they take your parents to an art museum on the first day you meet them, or something like that. It happens.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Man. Yeah. You meet somebody for the first time, and you're like, hey, it's usually when like you go to some engagement and you meet like a spouse's friend or a spouse's coworker or something like that. Somebody that you've never met before. And so you have to do this, so what do you do? Like how'd you meet her? Like whatever, right? And then you have like a 20-second surface level conversation. But then somebody's like, yeah, my grandmother died this morning. And you're like,
Jesus, dude.
You're like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, but I've also never met you before. And like,
yeah.
Now is this all we're going to talk about? Because this is, I mean, I feel like that makes me seem very cold-hearted.
Yeah.
At the same time, they just pivoted the conversation into something that is solely
that is a genuine hard overshare. You don't tell somebody that.
Yeah. Oh, my mom got diagnosed with whatever this morning. It's like, hey, man, that's terrible news. I'm so sorry to hear that, but like, yeah, I don't know. I met my wife's boss yesterday, and like
went into hard overshare mode right away.
No, it was like we walk in the office, and I was like, hey,
put a pineapple upside down on the table.
No, there was no pineapples. No pineapples in that room. But instantly, it's just like, oh yeah, thanks for coming in and like being a volunteer for hospice and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. And he was like, so you drive a truck? I was just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, that's pretty cool, huh? I was like, okay, so now we're just going to have like this conversation about trucks now, right? Like, for God's sakes, can we talk about something like, there's only so much I can say. Like,
did he legitimately mean like that's cool that you drive a truck? Because I feel like that can often go the opposite direction. People be like, you don't actually need that, do you?
Maybe I missed it. I don't know. He was like, I've been thinking about getting a truck. So I'm assuming it came from a positive thing. But I'm like,
So that reminds me of an awkward conversation years and years ago. Whenever I first met my wife, I went to her house for the first time and met her parents. It was Halloween, and met her parents and her sister and her sister's new husband. And I met the husband, and I'm like, hey, my name is Deric or whatever. And he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. He goes, so is that your truck parked out front? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'd never drive a truck. It's so impractical. And then just lists like 10 reasons why he would never drive a truck. Meanwhile, he's driving like a little Mazda sports car
Miata
thing. Yeah, like that sounds like a
Miata drivers. Obviously. Come on. They're a breed of their own.
They are.
Dude,
inbreed.
Every single time when I had a truck, every single time that I talked to a European person and they found out I had a truck, the first thing out of their mouth was always, why not a van? And the van's so much more practical. You got doors, it's covered on the top.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, shut up. Stop trying to sell me on your dorky van. I drive an awesome truck and it's great.
Here in North America, vans are considered creepy. That's why nobody has a van.
That's fair.
Because I don't abduct children. That's why I don't drive a van.
But what's the point of this guy just coming in and be like, I never drive a truck?
I don't know. That was the first conversation I had with him, like 2 sentences in, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're not going to get along ever.
I
feel like that's when you just look at the guy straight in the face, just like purse your lips and just give him the old thumbs up. Don't even respond.
Basically.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
See you later, dude.
That reminds me. Did you guys ever have experiences like the first time you went to like a girlfriend's house back in the day or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And like had that like classic dad's trying to scare the pants off you thing.
Oh
The
no! I never had a hard
cleaning
ass.
the gun on the table.
Yeah.
Situation.
Did you guys ever have that?
No.
All I don't know. Maybe it was the type I was into, but every girlfriend I ever had in high school, all her dads were checked out. So.
Oh, okay, all right. I was gonna say
there.
most of the girls I ever dated, I was like, I'm pretty sure I could beat your dad up. No big deal.
Yeah.
That's huge for everybody who doesn't know. But
Not huge, but
I had it. I had it
average.
once, and it wasn't that bad. But I don't know. I was freshman in high school, so what you're like 15-ish, give or take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I go over to this girl's house, and I'm intimidated as hell, right? Like I knock on the door. This is back in the day for all the people who are listening now. Apparently you don't do this. Apparently you like don't,
Oh yeah. What do you do now? Do you like Skype with your girlfriend's parents, or text them, or send them a Snapchat or something?
Shit if I know. Apparently you don't pick girls up for dates anymore.
No.
I guess you just Uber to the same location
Yeah.
in separate Ubers. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the idea is because if you're meeting online, this is the first time you met them. You don't know if they're a serial killer and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't get in the car. Yeah, true. Don't get in the car
Actually,
with a stranger.
remind me. I gotta follow up to that meeting somebody at a bar thing. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Anyway, rewind. So I'm like, I go over to the girl's house for the first time. We're gonna watch a movie, right? Because
Nice. Classic.
that's what you do. You sit on the opposite end of the couch, and you're like, this is so cool. I'm hanging out with the girl. Right? And so we get there, and I walk in, and like mom's super sweet. I was like, all right. I always moms always love me. We could always get the moms going.
Mm-hmm.
And then like dad walks in. He's probably got like some like pleated khaki pants.
Mm-hmm.
Got his hands in his pockets. Walks really loud and like steps really really heavy, and just kind of slowly walks up, and he's like. Something along the lines of like, so what's your name? Like one of these, and he's like, immediately he's like, I'm like, all right, this guy's setting the tone, right? And she's like, Dad, stop it. One of these. And he's, asking questions like, so what got you interested in my daughter? And like stuff like that. And like, what are your intentions in this? And whatever. I don't remember anything he said. And then he slowly walks over where it had to have been 20 to 30 seconds of awkward silence. And I'm probably sweating bullets at this point.
Oh, of course.
Walks over to the fish tank, takes the top off the fish tank, and so now you can like hear the water, like the water buzzing and whatnot. And he rolls up his sleeve, and he goes, I've got piranhas in here. And I don't even respond. I'm probably just like nod my head or whatever.
How do you respond?
Right. And
neat piranhas.
He goes, would you stick your hand in here for my daughter? And I was like, I mean, dude, I'm 15. Like I've known this. I probably met this girl at like an ice cream shop or something with some friends or whatever, right? And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, probably. And he was like, that's a pretty stupid answer. He goes, piranhas would eat your arms. And then he puts the lid back on. And then he walks away. That was the only interaction I ever had with the guy.
I'm like, dude, you watch too many movies, and then I just dunk my arm in. Be
Oh.
fine. I don't think piranhas actually just bite you right away, do they? I think maybe.
I don't even know if they were piranhas.
Yeah.
I mean, that
You
was
need to smell
15.
blood.
What the hell am I gonna know? But
Yeah.
I made a pact after that if I ever have children, I will 100% attempt to scare the piss out of any male that comes over.
I mean, I think, yeah, you have to do it for the sake, for like a laugh, right? Like you almost like set your phone in a corner recording, and then you go over and do it and see how awkward you can make the guy or whatever.
Oh,
No, see, I plan to take the opposite approach. I'm gonna just be a goofball. Like I will dress up in one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes when I meet the guy, whatever it takes.
hey,
to
Billy,
lower-
nice to meet you, brother.
Lower that threshold, so whenever he thinks he can get away with something, that's whenever you step up and you drop the voice. And you tell him what's up. You drop the hammer when you need to.
You have the like the contrast between the nice guy and you're like, whoa, you overstepped that line. Get back on the other side. It's more jarring that way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's like
smart.
a train wreck. You're like, whoa, easy, brother. Slave the brakes on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And just whip it out randomly for like reasons that make no sense. Like you guys are out and he gets a hot dog and puts relish on it. You're like, you really want to put relish on that?
Yeah,
That's what you're going to pick?
That way he thinks you're good and emotionally unstable.
How dare you use Heinz ketchup?
You're going to raw dog it? Really?
Yeah. Raw dog in this case.
Oh, that has to be the title episode. Or the episode title. Oh man. Zach, what would you do? Would you go Deric's route or would you go my route?
Oh, I think I would have to, because it's the first time in my life where I feel like I was truly in control of the situation. I could like actually mess with the other person. Because in real life, I'd be too nervous to actually do that. But if it was like
than you.
Yeah, if it's some 13-year-old snot-nosed kid coming to meet my daughter, I'm like, I'm gonna have a little fun with this one.
Right. And then
What's he gonna
so
do?
like, Zach, leave him alone.
yeah, probably.
And we'll set the scene. It's like, 10 years from now, things are, going along smooth. Rosie's off in high school. She brings home some snot-nosed Rottweiler. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have a little fun with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in your life, you'll probably have a belt holster for your cell phone.
You're implying that I don't
That's what I
already.
Quick draw.
I actually used to have a belt holster for my cell phone, like way, way, way back in the day when I was young.
Oh yeah. Was it pretty
I think when I was like in my
massive OtterBox cases too.
No, thankfully I avoided that phase.
Oh yeah. There's
I
always
was tempted though. I was tempted by I think the thing keeping me away from the OtterBox was that it was too expensive.
Yeah. Weren't those like $75?
Yeah, they used to.
They still
Do
are.
they still make them? Okay, I gotta know.
I bet they do.
100% they still do. Boomers keep that brand alive.
Boomers keep that brand alive. They got a lot of pretty thin ones now. Let's see, I go going up there. But what's like
Really?
We're on the iPhone 16.
I know, it's crazy.
What? Okay, plant-based protection. Get out of here.
Oh my lord. They got some like $65, $50, $40.
Oh, they're not as expensive as they used to be, and they doesn't look quite as bulky as they used to
There's
be.
not a rugged either, yeah.
I gotta say something crazy here. Is OtterBox has just become any other cell phone case company now.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that the case that you have for the by and large is almost
There's a lot about you.
Oh, I was gonna say it's irrelevant to the protection. It's just like if it's all of the rubber cases are giving you the exact same protection. It's plastic.
100%.
It's all the same thing. Like
Yes.
it doesn't matter. But yeah, your case does say a lot about you.
You show me a phone case, and I can make a lot of assumptions about the person.
All right.
See, I get the protection plan and then a $10 case. Anything happens to it, it's replaced.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
My
What
buddy
does
came
this
over the
case
other day.
say to you, Zach?
You're like a nice normal. That's like a generic case. You're a nice normal person. Like
It's
this is my case. It's
life proof.
Doesn't even have a case. It looks like.
it's there. It's just like a thin layer of plastic that covers it. Oh, that's nice.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good classy
Oh
case.
yeah. Classy.
My buddy came over the other day and he had a case. He has the same phone I do. He's got a case. It's got a little flip out stand so that he can like position it and watch movies. It's also got a door that covers all the camera lenses. I'm like, I was looking at it. I was like, what is wrong with you? What are you
Hang on. Before we take a photo, let me untransform my phone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then the little flippy stand, it also further rotated back to reveal a mirror. And I was like, oh, that's where you do your cocaine.
Who needs that in their like? For God's sakes, does he carry a purse?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like an extension of like the everyday carry
Scott
type
likes
of
his
guys,
purse.
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman almost.
I'm gonna start taking a better inventory of people's phone cases and just judging the ever living daylights out of them.
Yes. I think it's.
I get my kids the most bulkiest, rugged looking things I can find for sure. Because they're going to
so they can like throw them across the room?
Oh yeah, because they just leave them all over the place.
I've seen like iPad cases for children that have like arms and legs and stuff.
Yes.
4 inches thick of rubber. I'm like,
not
a bad idea.
I mean,
only had 2 broken iPads, and my kids combined 20 years of having them. So
yeah.
I want to get one of these massive OtterBox cases just for shits and giggles.
I wonder if it's different for kids now, because when I was young, I was so starved for technology that if my parents gave me a piece of technology, I would cherish it. I would
absolutely.
I would treat it like a Fabergé egg. I'd be like, nobody's getting close to my precious.
I just came across my old English to Spanish translator from Spanish class in high school. That's a good 25 years old, and it still works. It looks almost brand new because I treated it like gold.
Yeah. But kids today, they've had like iPads since they were for as long as they can remember. So they must. I wonder now if it's just like, oh, whatever, this old thing. Like this is nothing special.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you. I know you guys are more tech nerds than I am. Mm-hmm. Every year, they come up with a new phone and like, this is the strongest glass screen ever.
Yeah.
Do we really even need cases, or are cases just kind of a way to stylize your phone?
I put a case on my phone for grip, because without the case, it's like a bar of soap. It's just constantly sliding around.
Yeah, because I got like rubber on the side of mine, but the rest of it's plastic. It's plastic everywhere, but on the side's rubber. I feel like I get some grip to it.
I considered just getting like a grip tape or something and doing that on the corners or something, just to keep it very minimal.
You see, I agree with you, Deric, but I also think that maybe I've just been conditioned to think that I'm doing something wrong if I'm holding a phone without a case. Because I've had, when we're on the iPhone 16, so I've had 16 years of conditioning to think that I should have a case on my phone.
Sure.
I feel like it's going to get all scratched up if I don't. But maybe
do you care?
I don't even really care that much anymore. No. I used to work in construction, so I'd like all the time, I'd get like concrete dust in my pockets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I worry that would screw up my phone. But these days, maybe I could raw dog my phone and be all right.
Because like I think the screen protector maybe does something, but at the same time, maybe it doesn't. And like,
if you're like, unless you're, if you're, I'm assuming like me, your phone goes in one pocket, your keys go in another pocket.
Yeah.
So unless they're all getting jumbled together, like you got a purse, like then
keys aren't even going to scratch your phone, because keys are like, the metal is softer than the screen is.
Yeah.
It's like it's rocks and stuff that you have to watch out for.
Yeah.
I do drop my phone very often though.
And then the little rubber corner things are good for it. Then
that's kind of considered too.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, are we at a point where you could 3D print one?
Oh yeah,
100%. 100%. Yeah, dude. If you go on like Thingiverse or something, I bet you they have a design for every single phone.
It's nice. It's not too bulky or anything.
No, you can get like a TPU one.
Yeah.
All right, I might do
iPhone.
that.
All right.
Flexible and
iPhone
stuff like
15. Yep. Customized iPhone case.
You know, maybe what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna when Miranda gets home tonight, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I just want you to know I'm just gonna start raw dogging it.
Yeah.
She'll be like, what? And be like, I'm not using the phone case anymore. I'm living life on the edge. Dude, if you
See
do
what
that
the
on a
response is.
YouTube video, just like float around the fact that I don't have a phone case, I bet there would be absolute madness in the comment section. What?
Probably.
You don't use a phone case?
Probably.
I've done it a little bit. Like, there's been some phones where I've gone like a good 6 months or so before I put a case on it because I
Ooh,
liked the
so-
How does
phone
that make
itself.
you feel?
It was fine. I didn't have any, anxiety about it really.
Yeah.
The first week, I guess, but yeah, it goes away pretty quick.
I had this Samsung phone that exploded. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
The Galaxy Note 9, I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, you weren't allowed to. You're a flight risk.
Yeah, you could go on planes with it. So here, this was an interesting thing because they basically sent me an email that was like, "Hey, we're going to recall this phone. We don't know when, but like basically, we're just going to give you your money back or all the money towards a new phone." So I had this phone that I knew Samsung was going to buy back in like a couple months, something like that.
Crashed it.
So I just thrashed it. I just lived my life. I was so free.
Have it like a rental.
Yeah, I drove it like a
Raw-dogged it.
rental. Exactly. So that was my one experience with just absolutely raw dogging my phone and not caring at all.
It feels somewhat smaller with no
It
case.
Uh,
does.
It does.
I like the way it feels
thin.
without a phone.
Yeah.
It feels thin. I gotta say. You're like,
My complaint is these stupid camera bumps.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
If the reason I like the case is because then the back is flat. Right?
Yes.
Versus
Yes.
I got this
No.
big, protrusion. Looks like a goiter.
My case is so effing dumb that the case could be flat, but they add an extra layer of protrusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
To
you
mirror
can't
it.
really see it on the camera, but the case has a little protrusion, and I bet if you ask them, the thing would be like, well, it's extra protection for the lenses. But you could make the case just like a millimeter thicker and then have no protrusions, and it would sit flat, and it would be perfect.
But then when they did side by side comparisons of your phone case, they'd be like, "Well, that one's a millimeter thinner."
I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of over the thickness thing. I could go for a thinner phone that had a bigger battery or something like that. You know
I
what
want a smaller phone, dude. I've been petitioning this for years. They're
Oh,
like,
really?
introducing the iPhone Super Duper Deluxe XL Extreme.
The small one's
Hypermax.
pretty small, though, isn't it? Like the iPhone. I don't know what the iPhone.
I've got the
Like
I've got the miniature one. That's what.
yeah,
this
and that's still too
Oh.
big for you.
I would love it smaller.
See,
Okay.
I like a good 5 to 6 inches.
Yeah.
That's what she said. You ever get your hands on like an iPhone 4 and you're like, whoa, this thing is tiny.
I love it.
Yeah.
Really.
I think that's
Yeah.
like basically the size of what this is.
No, dude, no. Try look up iPhone 4 versus whatever that is. I bet you it's smaller.
Mini size. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see?
Man, I gotta get one of those iPhone 4s.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't Apple did a thing for a while where they had like the iPhone S or what was it
Something
called?
like that.
SE?
Yeah,
iPhone
maybe I can get one of
SE?
those bad boys.
Yeah.
Get an old iPod Nano and just
Oh,
tag it
that'd
to
be
your phone.
slick. That
Yeah.
would be slick anyway.
And get Zach to make you a mini phone.
Yeah. Well, that would be fun. I don't know if you could ever do that, but to like take the guts of a
What's-
new phone and put it in the old
What's the
phone
smallest you can make a smartphone?
body. Yeah.
Ooh, have you thought about this? This is the last thing I say. Then we got to head over to the BYOC.
Okay.
Making a modern original iPhone, like get the Model 1 iPhone and like try to.
Yeah,
It's an
cram
iPhone
as much.
16, right?
Yeah, I have thought about it, but I think that stuff is like it's so tight that it's like couldn't even
Everything's integrated.
Yeah, everything's integrated. I don't know that you could possibly do it. I mean, I'll look into it for sure because I definitely thought about it, but I think it's pretty challenging to say the least.
Yeah. Well, you know what's not challenging?
Go to the after show. Or the BYOC.
Yeah, thanking our top tier patrons that are helping keep this podcast alive every single week. We've got Joe Welsh, Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker, Corey Duvall, Josh at Sawdust Builds. And this month we do have Dadu, I think.
Nice.
Do we?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
No, he's off.
He's off.
On the Patreon, he's off the list.
Fair enough.
But he's starting his new company and everything, so
yeah,
I can understand.
Yeah, true. I mean, if it's legitimately a cost issue, then totally understand. But if it's a payment issue, then Dadu.
Yeah, he's always had an issue. But huge shout out to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/offthecutpodcast. You get access to the after show every single week, the KM Tools gift card, tons of other perks, and please check out the survey that's linked in the description of this episode. Let us know. Give us some feedback about Patreon.
How can we win your business?
Yeah, tell us why you don't want to be a patron, and maybe what would make you become a patron.
Yes,
I'm curious.
Give us some hate mail.
Yeah, especially if it's about the Intruders podcast.
Yeah, give them some hate mail. They deserve it.
But we are going to head over again. There's no after show this week because tonight is the BYOC live hangout. So everybody, you will have a link to that in your inbox on Patreon already. But if not, we will catch you next week.
See ya.
Peace. See ya. That's a lot of effort.
My jaw is sore.
My fingers start cracking.
Who the hell is ever going to know?
It's good practice.
It's more of a mental curiosity.